Hey, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about a portfolio. So that is a really huge part of being a design student. So a portfolio is just a showcase of your best work. You want to give people a glimpse of what you can do and your style and your voice as a designer. Um, a lot of times people include process work like the research and the sketches and the pattern making that went into the garment rather than just the final garment, so people can get a little idea of the process that you go through when you create something. So I'm currently in the process of revamping my entire portfolio. I had one that I created about a year ago, and at the time, it was a reasonable sample of my work. But over time, obviously you do new projects, you do new things, you grow as a designer, and that's not sufficient anymore. So I'm going to revamp it, put in new projects, update the layout, update the graphics, and just make it more in tune with who I am as a designer now, a more updated version. So when you work on a portfolio, most places want a hard copy, like a PDF that they can print out and handle, as well as a digital copy. And a lot of places, they really appreciate a website where you can just send them the link and they can go look at that. So you would want to use a program such as Illustrator, InDesign, Adobe Bridge to create your PDF format. And for a website, you could work with a web designer or design it yourself and create a website that coincides. It doesn't have to be identical to, but coincides with your hard copy, so that if an employer would look at both, they would, they wouldn't get a sense of discord. It would kind of fit together. So just a little bit of advice on if you're working on a portfolio. Things to keep in mind are that all the aspects of design that go into it are important. Like, of course, your garments and your fashion stuff, your actual work is the most important thing. But if you have a aesthetically pleasing layout and successful graphics, that is going to strengthen the impact that your actual work has. If it's easy to navigate, for instance, a website, it's easy for the employer to get from page to page. It's obvious where they need to click and where they need to go. Good web design, they're going to appreciate that as well. And then on a hard copy format, you don't want to overwhelm them. You don't want 80 pages in your portfolio, because most of the time the people who are looking at your portfolio, they're busy and they don't have time to flip through 80 pages of your work. So you'd want to narrow it down to the cream of the crop of what you've been working on. There's really no hard and fast rule for the number of pages you can have. Mine usually ends up somewhere 15 to 20. Some people's are 10 or less, and it's very successful. Some people do go up to 30, and that works too. It's just using your judgment to figure it out. Just keep in mind that you don't want to overdo it and oversaturate the person viewing your work. When you do choose your work, it's important to have a variety, but like I said, cohesiveness is critical. You want a variety, you want, sketching, fashion, pattern making, but it all should fit together in some sort of loose way. I find that when you first start your portfolio, you include a lot of different aspects. You could have photography and fashion and graphic design in there, but the more you focus on your major, the more you start to edit out and have only fashion or only graphic. And it's just a long process and a journey where you edit as you go. And I will be blogging about my journey revamping my current portfolio. It's in the very beginning stages right now, but look for that post so you can keep up with what I'm doing, and hopefully it will be interesting and helpful.